Like if everyone is zigging, like we like to zag. And because we were building a brand that solved for our own personal frustrations as dog parents, I think we got a lot of things right. Like it was about what works for these three very different dogs owned by three very different pet parents. And can we create something that like also works for most dogs, regardless of age, of breed? And and really like that, I think is the energy that made this thing break out the way that it did. And then, like, listen, if I'm being really honest, like another huge part of this is just like being agile. Like we also launched through direct to consumer, which benefited greatly from all of the demand that surged during the pandemic. And then we quickly realized it was a really volatile channel and you know, trying to navigate a world where your customer acquisition costs are all over the place and LTVs are really unpredictable, it doesn't necessarily set you up for like a long, sustainable and predictable business. And so we had to figure out like, how are we going to pivot even though all of our expertise was built in digitally native brands and companies. And with that, like we started to pick our head up and became really acute that doors were going to reopen at some point, lights were going to go back on, and people were going to be back in the store buying most of their grocery list. And so you have to kind of also like move as you see trends start to, not so much trends, but behaviors start to emerge or start to be restated in some bread. And we've just really tried to pay attention first as consumers and dog parents, but then also as people who are running a business with what I think is like a really lofty vision of becoming the single destination that most modern pet parents want to shop with because they trust us and we're in the right spaces at an affordable price point.